let's talk about some great things, and that's that the Jacksonville Jaguars entering the Broncos game on Poly Market, they had a 9% chance to win the AFC.
Oh, wow.
After the game, they have bumped up to 16%.
That's pretty
almost 17%. And after the game now, they have an over 80% chance to win the AFC South. And all of these charts and the movements based on people's predictions have swayed in this amount of time. So you can argue the Jaguars did a lot to convince the public that they are legit, that they are for real, that Trevor Lawrence is playing like a top-end quarterback, and you got to worry about Denver a little bit out there and that defense getting exposed.
I won't disagree too much with what you just said. Got to give credit where it's due. Jacksonville has been one of the hottest teams in football. Since acquiring Jacoby Myers, it's been one of the most explosive offenses in football. And that's paired with Trevor Lawrence playing some of the best football he's played in his NFL career. I said this after the game, and I wasn't just saying this to poke fun at what has been Trevor Lawrence's career. This is the best he's looked since his sophomore year. He's the most confident, most accurate, most explosive. He's been excellent. And he was excellent yesterday against my Broncos. Listen, we had to lose sometime. Would it have been nice to go and on this amazing win streak, win the Super Bowl, never lose a game? It would have been awesome. We had to lose eventually. It sucks that it had to be yesterday's game because it could mean something down the stretch when it comes to seeding. Patriots, they don't seem like they're going to lose for the rest of the season. The Jaguars look like one of the hottest teams. Texans are another team that they just don't lose football games. It's going to be close, so you needed this one. Credit to Jacksonville. They put their foot on the gas. They never took it off. Trevor was excellent. I thought that he was clutching every single third down situation. They were getting big plays. Parker Washington was huge in this game. Great. He fried Jaquan. He fried Riley Moss. Riley Moss couldn't tackle yesterday. There is cause for concern for our defense a little bit. I was concerned in the Packers game, and I said that to you prior. When Jordan Love was doing whatever they wanted in the pass attack, they were torching us. And then you tested Surtain, and after that moment, we shut it down. So then I kind of was like, okay, let me not overreact. Our defense is still amazing, even though the last 2 weeks, we hadn't looked our best. But now against Jacksonville, who's a great offense, I'm not trying to throw them under the rug like this is like, oh my God, I'm panicking because we got gashed by Jacksonville. That's not it. But for what they've shown us post-bye week, I'm a little concerned about our defense. Our secondary hasn't been what it's been. That's the main concern for me. I think our rushing defense has been solid over these last few weeks, but our secondary, what has been our bread and butter, yesterday didn't look great. Brandon Jones was missed terribly. PJ Locke looked horrendous. Hufanga, who's been really good, he didn't have himself a great game yesterday either. Just give credit where it's due. Jacksonville has been a great team, and they continued it yesterday. It's been unfortunate because since the bye week, roles have reversed for the Broncos. Our offense has been incredible. Bo Nix has been great. I think RJ Harvey's been pretty effective in his own right. Cortland Sutton has been excellent. I thought Troy Franklin's been a positive. Prayers for Pat Bryant. Yes. Took an unnecessary hit late in the game. It was really devastating to see. Really well. I really hope that he's okay. He's really been a great addition to our squad. But he's been released from the hospital. It's seeming like everything's trending positive, which is huge. But sending love his way. Offense looked great against a really strong defense. It's just our defense looked shitty. And that's really unfortunate in what was a great game until it wasn't. Thing is, Jacksonville never stopped. Late in that fourth quarter, which hasn't been complete opposite for us. We've been mid in that first half, turning on the second. We didn't show up in the fourth quarter, which was unfortunate. But credit where it's due. Jacksonville deserves to have their percentages increased the way that they have on Poly Market. AFC South, it looks like it's theirs because I don't know if Jacksonville is going to lose a game rest of the season.
This was their biggest test. This was their biggest game left.
100%.
Yeah, I think we talked about this on last week's episode that this game meant a lot for Jacksonville, and obviously it meant something for the Broncos too, but coming off the Packers win, it's like, all right, I think no matter what happens, Denver's still the favorite, and to me, they still are the favorite. But I mean, not by much, you know what I mean? Like, the AFC's so open, right? Like, Denver, to me, if I had to put it in order, would be my number one team in terms of who do I think is most likely to come out of the AFC. But then it's like 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D. There's not many teams in the AFC that have separated themselves. And at this point, it's who's getting hot at the end of the season. You know, like what quarterback's playing the best? What defense is causing turnovers? What coaching staff do you trust the most? Right now, it's Jacksonville. I mean, since week 11, since the brutal, just terrible loss to Houston, Trevor Lawrence is number one EPA per play and number one in success rate. Like, this is the passing offense that the beginning of the season, the defense was causing turnovers and being elite. Travis Etienne was excellent. And we're like, listen, it's looking good, but the passing offense still hasn't figured it out. And all of a sudden, over the last 6 weeks, 5 weeks, it's been the number one passing attack in the NFL. Yeah. And a lot of that I was skeptical of just because of their opponents, right? They were going up against Arizona, Tennessee, the Jets, just opponents that either had nothing to play for, bad defenses, or a combination of both. But now you went into Denver, the hottest team in football, with one of the best defenses in football. Now it's, okay, what do you got? And I thought to start the game, they were a little shaky. I thought, they went 3-and-out early. But as the game went on, Trevor just got more comfortable, and that crowd was loud.
It was loud,
The camera was shaking. You couldn't hear anything. And it just felt like as the game went on, he got more and more confident, super accurate. He was decisive. It was one of the best games Trevor Lawrence has ever played. Yeah. And he's on a stretch right now playing some of the best football of his career. And in a year that we're talking about all year long, that it's wide open. Yeah, I mean, this is a team that can cause turnovers. It's a team that when the quarterback is right, he can play at an elite level. Travis Etienne had been great. We said it after week 4. Liam Cohen seems like a home run in terms of head coach. So, I mean, just a super impressive win from a super impressive team. Houston, we got a lot of love recently, deservedly. But I think this win puts Jacksonville above them, at least for me, because I do trust their offense more when it comes down to it. Houston has shown us some things in the last few weeks. Had a bit of a scare this past Sunday against the Raiders. They just snuck out of that with the win. And I think you still trust Houston's defense more. They're the first, second best, third best in the NFL, however you want to put it. But right now, Jacksonville is up there with anyone in terms of elite offense, elite defense, and a quarterback that's playing at a high level. So super impressive win.
Last thing I'll say, John, I'll kick it to you. This has been a season highlighting why moving off your current head coach for a young up-and-coming guy may start to become a new trend. Because Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, although I'll never disrespect
Campbell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Gerard Mayo.
Mike Vrabel.
No, not Vrabel. McDonald. The fact that that you had these guys in the building, and now they're going on to other franchises, and now they're elevating them to now being playoff teams. It's like else. Exactly. Yep. It's going to be something that we look at for the future. It's not going to be nuts to see head coaches fired for a guy that's currently on staff.
I saw Nico Elite Takes make that point.
Oh, did he?
It's so true. If you look at the Ravens right now, you'd much rather have Mike McDonald coaching that team to me. And when we talk about the Jaguars, I think this game said more about Jacksonville than it did Denver.
Definitely.
You can have some points and cases on Denver, but what Jacksonville is looking like right now, they're the AFC version of the Chicago Bears. Early in the season, they established themselves, kind of surprising a lot of people by being one of the best teams in the NFL generating turnovers. They're third this year in turnover differential, and the run game is so good early on. But over these last 4 weeks, we've seen the run game has not been the specialty. What it's been is the passing attack, and that's the last layer, which we didn't see early in the season. It was up and down, and Trevor Lawrence is playing his best football right now since 2022. When they won 5 straight games, they sneak into the playoffs, they end up beating the Chargers in the wild card. And when you look at the entirety of this team, they're going to go as far as Trevor Lawrence takes them. But when he's playing at this sort of level, when he's playing at this elite level, which we have not seen, we've seen in moments, last 4 weeks, he's been awesome. You're looking at a Jaguar team that can go on a playoff run. I still feel like you need to see some level of, I want to see the run game be a little more consistent. That's one of my kind of skepticisms with this team. But when you have guys like Parker Washington and Jacoby Myers playing as well as they have, it's very cool to look at it in that lens, because coming the season, for someone to say to you the Jaguars would be a playoff team coming the year, it'd be like, all right, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter would be the two players who are making the biggest difference. And it has not been that whatsoever. Travis Hunter, of course, being out for the rest of the season, get well soon. It's been Parker Washington thriving, Brandon Strange playing well coming off injury, and then Jacoby Myers being that reliable safety blanket. So it's awesome to watch how the Jaguars are playing right now.
Myers was able to just have every receiver in the room play in their role. Brian Thomas Jr., I thought a lot of his struggles early in the year was that he was being used inside a lot, and he just braced for a lot of hits, and he wasn't comfortable taking the shots that he was taking early on. And you saw that in the way that he played. Now he's more of just a vertical X receiver where he's kind of the sacrificial lamb. Sometimes he'll have a great game, but he is not the focal point in getting involved in those middle of the field routes where you are usually running into defenders. He's usually running away from defenders, and I think that's opened up his game. And Parker Washington has been a bright spot. He had a ton of great plays. He was the best receiver on the field for Jacksonville against the Denver Broncos. And Trevor Lawrence, 10 touchdowns, 0 turnovers over the last 2 games. People questioned his level of play because of who he was going up against. And he needed this type of performance to showcase to everybody how great he's been, how far he's come, but also the Jaguars offense is a wagon. There were plays that they called against the Jets that had the Jets looking like a
JV
G
team.
League team.
Yeah.
It was
Quite literally.
embarrassing. And I know they're awful,
bro.
but then he does the
Dolphins
same
did that
thing to the Denver Broncos. But like the Denver Broncos, there were moments where they played great defense, but Trevor Lawrence fit in a touchdown ball to Parker Washington on his inside shoulder with a defender draped all over him. The throws that he was making, they were beating coverage. And this is why I said last week I think the Jaguars are more dangerous than the Texans because they're a more balanced football team. I cannot trust an offense that cannot generate drives. And that is what Houston is. If they get a favorable matchup against a weak defense, then yeah, maybe they can, right? But overall, we're asking that defense to win slugfest 16-13, which we know they're capable of. But the Jaguars have shown on 2 occasions now they can light up that Texans defense. And their defense themselves is really good. And Trayvon Walker made a great play in the run. He made some nice plays also pressuring the passer. So I think the Jaguars are clicking at the right time. And there's no reason why they can't come out the AFC. We saw them against the number 1 team in the AFC coming into this week, and then they beat them convincingly. And Denver's defense is really falling off.
We shot ourselves in the foot. I think, yeah, we could argue that our defense hasn't looked what it looked like in the beginning of the season. I think that that's obvious. I think that the roughing the passer on a dead ball, which was an unfortunate play because the stadium is rocking. It is loud as can be.
Oh, yeah.
Player doesn't hear the whistle. He rocks Trevor off the edge.
That was on a 3rd down, wasn't
It was,
Yeah.
and then that's a first down. That actually leads to a touchdown drive for Jacksonville. And I'm not taking anything away from Jacksonville. Like I said in my opening, they were excellent. They converted on a lot of 3rd and shorts, 3rd and longs. They were just clutch situationally. Trevor getting outside the pocket. We shot ourselves in the foot on multiple occasions. We can't get off the field on 3rd down. And then offensively, that fumble exchange between Bo Nix and the running back, after that, the Jaguars go and they score again. There was no bailing us out. There was no bailing us out on any level because Jacksonville was capitalizing on all of our mistakes. And when a team's playing like that, virtually they're unstoppable, which is why all I can do is tip my cap to Jacksonville. They look like a legitimate threat.
And it wasn't just that, but in the 4th quarter, it was a 14-point game. Denver's driving down the field. I'm like, okay, here we go again.
Literally.
It's like Denver, this is what they've been doing. It's
100%.
been a while, but this is what they've been doing, coming back in these 4th quarters.
And then next threw an interception.
4th down, maybe not the best throw, but either way, it would have been very easy for Jacksonville to let up a touchdown there.
That is what killed the game, essentially.
It was
a nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
It was 4th down, but I get it. I didn't love the throw.
Yeah,
I didn't love the throw.
It was 4th and short, which was
there
why I was surprised.
there was 2 receivers open.
It was a surprising throw. But either way, that was Jacksonville stepping up, making a play. Because Denver had shown all season long that they could come back. 2 touchdowns, I don't know, 6-7 minutes left, however long it was. More than enough time for Denver to score a touchdown, get a stop, get the ball back. But it was just Jacksonville making a play like they've been doing all season long. So I know Jacksonville fans, shout out to our guy Brett, they've been waiting on us to give them their respect. And really the NFL world give them their respect. And we said it last week, like, listen, you've been playing great. But you've been playing great against terrible teams. Now you beat Denver. You got my attention. You got my respect. This was, one of the more impressive wins on the season. Their most impressive win of the season, right up there with the Kansas City game early in the year. Yeah. And you're getting hot at the right time. There's really no reason. Goddamn, Alec Pierce again, $25 million. Give him. There's no reason why this team can't beat anyone in the AFC.